pick up everything. If it's a trash item, water bottles, MRE trash, whatever, I don't care if it's yours. Pick it up, please.
All right, and welcome back to episode 054 of the Okay Guidons. Okay podcast powered by the Strength Co. I am your host, Grant Broggi, joined by Mr. Major Type Jeff Buege in the greater Salt Lake Mormon area of Utah, and Mr. Trey Gottlich, looking thin in the new year, coming from Frisco, Texas. Frisco,
Close.
Texas. Not Frisco?
By
way of
Odessa.
Odessa.
By way of Odessa. And we are recording tonight live from 29 Palms, California. If you told me when I first came to this place in 2012, you're going to record a podcast in a barracks room, I would not have believed you, but here we are. The show goes on. We keep telling you it's over, and it's not over. The price of Bitcoin is $101,739.10, which means that Bitcoin has more than doubled since we started this podcast on January 4th of 2024. So we've now been recording for a year. You've listened to a year's worth of episodes, but we've now been recording for a year. That's right. Today's date is January 6th in the year of our Lord 2025. I got to check a connection over here real quick. While I do that, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff to give us a trash update.
All right. Thank you. Gentlemen, sergeants, majors, commanders, chaplains, alphas, Zulus, fops, cops, Camo.
Oh, we're still introducing everyone?
I think Camo's dialed in. Cool. Gentlemen, there's one thing that's priority at all times. It's picking up your trash, okay? Police call in your area. Don't call the police to police call your area. That's outside of their scope of work. But get your Marines online. Have them police call and pick up all the trash. Make sure you're sorting your trash. I don't want to see trash mixed together. Okay. So, gentlemen, did you have anything further to add on trash? And that's our number one priority at all times.
I think you covered it all, but just to dovetail and piggyback and to reiterate what Major King said. One thing is sometimes the Marines get tired of police calling the trash once all the trash is up, but that is not a time to stop. Get them back online from the beginning and make them do it a few times. Don't ever go to a new area to find new trash. Just get that same 20 by 20 section and make sure it's trash. Also, just talk to the barracks manager, and he picks up trash every day. When he sees trash, he picks it up. You should do the same, and just secure your trash. And don't forget to police call, and especially your office areas. Don't forget that. And anyway, that's it. Trey, did I miss anything?
No, I think you just did y'all hit on the trash a little bit?
Yeah,
please expand upon that. I know.
Yeah, we got the trash. I was in a brief today, and literally the trash was brought up so many times. It was first brought up by a master sergeant who was just like, "Y'all get that trash?" And like he meant trash, like knowledge or like truth bombs or whatever. And I just started laughing about the trash, and then the briefs are going on with the back and the saddle. And then plus it's our welcome to 29 Palms brief, not me, but my buddy and his battery.
Right.
And so all the trash.
You just happen to be there.
What
a coincidence.
Yeah. I'm actually just doing a sleepover with him tonight. I'll be back home tomorrow.
That worked out.
Yeah. There's so much trash talk, and it's not trash talk like talking trash. It's talking trash.
Hey.
Anyway. God, I think that's good with the trash.
That could be our spin-off. When we have a spin-off podcast one day, it could be talking trash.
Talking trash.
Just like what happens to trash. Our thoughts on recycling.
Oh, yeah. Like the opposite of how I built this, how I threw this away.
Yeah, so I had this company, and then I just kind of ran it into the ground. Yeah, no big deal.
Turned it into trash.
So,
all right.
Okay.
Well, that covers the intro.
Okay. Checked off item one.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up.
Again, that's our priority at all times. Number one, first and foremost.
Hey, listen, there's only one Mother Earth.
It's true.
If you bring it in, you take it out. If you bring it in, you take it out. Did you see the trash sign that I posted today?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it.
I posted on the OK Podcast story, and it's over the urinal, and the urinal signs are my favorite,
Dude, I love
because
urinal signs.
they're like typed out on Microsoft Word and like spelt wrong, and it'll be like hold down 9 seconds to flush, no dip spit, and this one was like actually made professionally and laminated. And on the left side, it was like a picture of literally like a dumpster's mound of trash, and in the middle, there was a picture of a Zen 3 milligram can, which no one throws their can in the urinal. They just spit their Zen out. So bad, but hard to get through to a Marine's head there. And then on the right was personal items.
That's my favorite.
And all of them had an international no system on them, symbol on it. And I was like, okay, so I can't throw away Zen milligram 3 containers, but if I got a 6 in, I'm good.
According to that sign, yeah.
Yeah, according to the sign.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Talking trash. I love it.
Talking trash.
Love it.
That's a really good podcast name.
Really
Let's
is.
dump this whole okay thing. We're just gonna talk trash.
Talking trash, because we only got one Mother Earth.
She's about 180 degrees south of here.
Oh, my goodness.
Because Fort Drum will shut you down if you put cardboard with plastic.
Damn straight, brother. Preach it. Preach it.
I still haven't seen that documentary yet.
On Fort Drum and trash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that what 180 degrees south's about?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's about.
Yeah. It's about
For the Fort Drum trash problem?
Grant's AT.
Yeah. Bring your gain down just a little bit, Trey.
I think Jordy's editing it, or PJ's editing it right now.
Yeah.
It's going to drop right before Grant's buddy goes on deployment as like a little.
Yeah. My buddy.
Yeah.
Is that down?
Memento. Yeah, it's better. Man, this nightstand is really working well for a microphone holder. Check this out.
I'm just impressed with the
bands.
You ready? Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. Here we go. Blinded by the light.
Whenever Grant has an idea, he just turns that on.
Yeah. Real quick, if you're not watching us on YouTube, I know not all of you are, because we have a ton, thousands of downloads every week and only 354 subscribers. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you'd see me and my chonies using a lamp stick as a microphone holder secured by
Not a euphemism.
Yeah. So go subscribe on YouTube. Next slide.
Dang. Love it. Love it. Well, in natural progression of sticking with the format of the show that we've rocked for now over 365 days, Trey, how's the training going? I know you're on the
Going
road.
pretty good, man.
Did you hit a gym on the road? Is there a gym you go to out there in Odessa?
I'm sure there is. I know Grant probably went to one when they drove through Midland, Odessa.
Oh, you're in Midland and Odessa, the same place?
It's the same thing.
What
It's like
are you,
Dallas Fort Worth.
What are you, a landman?
Yeah, maybe dinner with Billy Bob.
Okay, little Texas drop.
Little Billy Bob Thornton.
He's
from Arkansas.
I just want some credit on the current pop culture coming out of
Look
Grant's
at you. I'm
mouth.
so proud of you.
Thanks, man. I've been working on it.
Yeah, staying consistent. I didn't get anything in. I was on the road all day today, so I haven't got anything in yet. Might go see if I can hit whenever wrap this up, go get a little session at the hotel gym downstairs.
Dedication.
Consistency.
You're looking great.
Love
You're
being
looking handsome as ever. Just another reason for folks to subscribe on YouTube is to see.
I feel like
Trey's
you're saying that because you like this jacket.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Jeff hasn't even looked at my face. He's just looking at the jacket.
Don't mix two things together.
I'm just merchandise.
Well, we'll see.
Hey, another brand to add to the King's Cloth selection, which I don't know. Have we gone through all of King's Cloth? I don't think we have.
A Strenko squat tee.
Yeah.
A Strenko crew neck sweatshirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Strenko honeymoon shorts.
Yep.
Okay.
The Strenko tank top. The Strenko
okay.
zip up hoodie. The Strenko pullover hoodie.
Yep.
I think we've gotten through it all.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Well, I
forgot
Some
to say
honorable
this.
mentions.
Yeah, powered by the Strenko. This podcast.
I got a gift, some Viore pants.
I've heard a lot about this from our listener, Craig. Shout out, Craig.
Shout out, Craig. Craig has good taste then, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say about that. Next slide.
More like sweatpants type deal, or like, hey, you're gonna wear this?
like a comfy dress pants.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Like bird dogs?
I'm not familiar with bird dogs, but
We're not about bird dogs.
I need to get educated.
I don't know any other brands. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Just like bird dogs.
Sure.
Just like bird dogs.
I've always said that.
That is true.
Yeah.
You wear pants just like bird dogs.
There's one thing I've always said is, Trey, could you turn down your gain a little bit more? It's just It's just spiking over here, and I want to make it easy on PJ. PJ, just while he fixes that, put a Dunkin' across the bottom of the screen. Okay, thanks, PJ.
Better or worse? Testing 1 2.
So you want to turn it down, not up.
I have no idea how to do that.
Just the one that says gain, put it closer to 0 than 100.
Better.
Say something. Now get excited. Say, okay.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, that's good. There you go.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. We appreciate that, Trey.
Hey, man, I do what I can for the listener.
Yeah.
AKA PJ.
Yeah, PJ.
I hope by now PJ has this I don't know anything about editing videos at all, but I hope now there's just like a drop-in template thing that's super easy for that Duncan thing. So,
dude, editing's tough to do against tall grass.
I believe that.
PJ, make the grass grow.
He's like, guys, please move on to something else. Oh man. Okay, well, it's good to hear you're getting it in on the road. Yeah, love that. Well, I guess we're still kind of on the topic of lifting / training in general. I've seen you do it. I know you're a good bench presser. Can you talk about incorporating a belt into the bench press? I feel like some people probably see it and they're like, why is the guy wearing a belt? He's laying on a bench. What's up with that?
Yeah. It's a good question. Well, before I answer it, what are you guys' thoughts on it?
I don't use one.
Have you tried it ever?
I have, and I don't know, maybe I was doing it wrong, but I didn't think it helped me that much. I thought it was just an extra. It felt like I was just an extra thing for me that I was doing.
Okay. Jeff?
I've thrown it in there a couple times. And I feel like it definitely helps you get a little bit tighter, or at least feel like you're getting things a little bit tighter because there's something to brace against. So you can just have that proprioception to throw out
the old proprioception.
$10 word.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Let's make my life easier. Hey guys, and welcome back. It's Grant Broggi from the Strength Co. And today we're going to talk about, should you wear a belt when you bench press? If you like the video, like and subscribe to the channel. Grant, where are you? It looks so different. Well, you have to go tune into the OK podcast. Okay. Episode 054 to find out. Okay. As you know, we like you to wear the belt on the squat, the press, and the deadlift, because when you do those lifts, you are under compression. Your spine is under compression. I'd make the argument that the most important lift for you to wear the belt on is the press, because it's the longest kinetic chain. You're putting force the furthest away from your connection with the floor, where your feet are, all the way overhead. And your spine is under complete compression and is going to want to move around. So we like to put the belt on you for the press to keep everything tight. You use the Valsalva maneuver. Go watch the Valsalva maneuver video to keep everything tight so that your low back doesn't move around. In the squat, you are also under compression. You bend over at the waist, shoot your hips back, and your spine is under compression. When your spine is under compression, it wants to move. And we know that when we're lifting heavy loads, we do not like our spine to move around a whole much. Make a Duncan thing go across the screen. Okay, cool. Same thing in the deadlift. You might say, Grant, but I'm holding the bar with my hands. My arms are in tension. You're still in compression if you think about the moment arm. And as the bar comes off the ground and your hips come forward, you finish at the top with your spine in total compression. So the belt helps the most when your spine is in compression by helping it not move around. So why would I wear it in the bench press? In the bench press, you're laying down on the bench. Literally, it's a lot of people's favorite lift because you get to lay down. It's like taking a nap, except you have to move your arms and some weight off your chest. But when you bench press, the belt can be your friend. Here's what I tell you first. If you are brand new to bench pressing and you're just getting started, fix everything else. Get your hand position correct so your forearms are vertical at the bottom. Go watch the how to bench video. Go watch the other how to bench video. Also watch that how to bench video. Fix the hand position so your forearms are vertical, and then fix your elbow positions. A lot of people have their elbows flared out when they bench press, which causes impingement in the shoulder. When you bench press, the bar actually does not move in a straight line because of the way your shoulders and your humerus is connected to the glenoid cavity. So it's going to start over your shoulder joint and then come down and touch at the bottom of the sternum and then get pushed back to your shoulder. It's not a straight vertical line. So fix your bench press first. Get your legs on the ground. Don't do a Larson bench press and flare your legs out. Don't do an uneven bench press because you think your left pec's smaller than your right. Just get everything right in your bench press. And once you do, and you're adding five every time, and you get your bench press up, now you can think about putting on a belt. So you're laying down. Your spine is obviously non-compression because you're horizontal. You have something called hoop tension. Hoop tension is the pressure that's around your abdominal cavity as you're conducting the bench press. So when you put the belt on in the bench press, you're going to want to put it on a little bit tighter because you're not getting compressed, and you while you're holding a Valsalva maneuver, you're not getting compressed and increasing the pressure against the belt. So you're going to put the belt on a little bit tighter. If you got a bunch of money and you're rich and you already own the Strength Co 4-inch double ply belt, and now you want to wear one when you bench, go buy a 3-inch single ply. Because while you're laying down on the bench, you can tighten that thing up a little bit easier because it's more pliable. So put the belt on. You can do it while you're standing up using the rack as leverage, or you can do it laying down. And even a cheap Amazon belt, that black and red one, don't show it. We don't want you to go buy that. But if you own that, it's going to be decent for bench press because you can get that thing really tight because it's so pliable. Lay down on the bench, and then you have to figure out a way to Valsalva so that you increase that hoop tension against the belt as you're laying down. It takes a little practice. Does it make a difference? Yes. Does it make a difference as much as it does in the other lifts? I would say no. But if you try it for a little while and see, and you've already fixed everything else in your bench press, it will make a difference and give you the competitive edge where you can now add 0.75s. Yes, go buy the 0.75s to each side of the barbell and increase your bench press by another 1.5 pounds. So you can bench more than your dad did in high school, which was 315. And you can say, Dad, I did 317 or 316 and a half. Screw you. I'm stronger than you. Hope this video helps. If it does, like and subscribe to the channel and go watch the OK podcast. We'll see you next time. And that's how it's done, gentlemen.
Maybe that was my problem. Maybe I was using that was super impressive.
The sausage was made. I love it. Seeing that.
Off the cuff.
That's good, dude.
I think I'm using a 2-ply belt. Maybe that's why I didn't like it.
Could be. It is definitely more uncomfortable in a double ply, and it's harder laying down to get it tight enough. I mean, I do it in a double ply. But it does need to be a little bit tighter. And there's a little bit of technique of like getting the belt just right. So as you unrack it from the rack, you stay super tight there. It's easier if someone's giving you a handoff, I think, to build pressure in the belt.
Yeah.
Because you can basically get your breath, get the tension belt built. The belt's against like the rubber pad on your bench. So you're kind of like stuck in there. And if someone can hand you the bar, I think it's even more beneficial, but you can still do it, doing a self handoff.
What makes a good and a bad handoff in your opinion?
Oh, it's just like,
do you have a pet peeve of like when somebody does a bad one?
No, it's just a good handoff comes with training with someone consistently.
Yeah.
So like, I know Jeff knows how to hand off a bench really good, and he knows I know how to hand off a bench really good. But if we went and benched heavy tomorrow, it might not go perfectly because he doesn't know that like, okay, Grant lifts his butt up. He like twerks his feet side to side. He sets his bench down. He goes, and then he takes his breath. And it's like a good handoff is like from training partners that like know the guy's routine and know right when he's going to get force. I guess my pet peeve would be putting it too far forward past the shoulder joint, right? That's super annoying. But I don't have really strong opinions on a handoff as much as I do on a spot when people touch the bar too early.
That's my thing with the bench press. If you're grinding it out and someone just grabs it, you're like,
yeah, most of the time, like if I'm benching heavy in a commercial gym and I like need a spot, I'll actually just go a little bit lighter. so that I know I can get the 5 reps, because they'll ruin they'll take it on like rep 3 when you're like, dude, I definitely had number 4. 5 might have been questionable. So yeah, that's more annoying to me than the handoff.
Out of the 4 major lifts, do you think bench press is the most dangerous one? By yourself. By yourself. And the only reason I say that is because like it's traveling over over your head. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I think it's the most dangerous in terms of death statistics. It is. More people die from bench pressing, but you also got to zoom out and realize way more people bench press than they do anything else.
True.
But I don't really think it's more dangerous, because
it might be a bad phrase.
No. I think it's a great question. I just think if you set your safeties up correctly and know how to do that, then the bench press is perfectly safe. Now, could you like tweak your shoulder, taking out a heavy bench if you don't know how to like kind of get your shoulders underneath the bar as it comes out of the load? Of course you could. And that could be considered kind of dangerous. You could also tweak your back by not bracing hard enough and, loosening up off the floor in a deadlift. I think it's dangerous if people don't know how to set the safety pins for exactly the reason you said. If I go down and fail, that thing could literally roll back on my throat and pin me to the bench, suffocate me and die. Or if the wrist not snap, that could be bad too, but that's not very common. But if the bar's in the palm,
it rolls back,
then you can lose it real quick and it could just drop on your sternum and, crush your sternum, bruise your sternum, or hurt that really bad, or knock the wind out of you. But I don't think it's any more dangerous than the other barbell lifts if it's set up correctly. Yeah. It's like artillery is inherently safe if you do everything right. But I think statistics would show it's the most dangerous.
That's a good point. More people do it.
Yeah, more people do it, and most people don't.
The most dummies
set it.
Do it.
Yeah, they do really silly stuff with it. I was watching guys incline bench yesterday in the gym, and it's like there's no safeties, there's no one behind them, and I just set up everything correctly, because it's like, what if I'm lifting so heavy that I black out? Not common, right? Or what if I just have a bad rep and the bar goes way forward on the squat. I just have way more confidence when everything's set up correctly.
Yeah.
I don't think you're a PUSSY if you use safeties. I think it gives you more confidence, if anything else. It's the same thing with the belt. The belt 100% helps. And it's also like a mental help.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I got my belt on, like my
on squat for sure.
It's a huge mental deal.
The Valsalva maneuver. Is there any other maneuvers out there?
What are the other maneuvers that I can do?
The Heimlich maneuver.
That's
my dad's favorite. He loves being in a restaurant and someone's choking. Is there a doctor here? I'm a doctor. Heimlich. Oh, he does the belly one. It's like, well, Dad, you have a doctorate in theology, but
I'm going to pray for you before I do it.
Yeah, real quick.
I want to talk to you about Jesus real quick. Then I'll save you.
Do you know where you're going when you die? Heaven or hell? Heaven. On 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Heaven. That's how salvation works.
Hey. That's it.
Great questions, boys. And thanks for letting the podcast just crank out maybe 3 YouTube videos right there.
Hey,
that's pretty good. I wasn't bad.
Support. That's pretty good. Yeah. Support the troops.
Yes, we do. Well, since we talked about pushing lifts, the next thing you do after you push some heavy weights is you got to push some chow. I'm trying to up my protein game. I feel like I usually do a pretty decent job. But I'm like, I have this council of fellow people that are professional chow pushers and appreciate a high protein meal. So what are your do you guys have go-to kind of easy to make? It doesn't have to be necessarily easy to make, but something you can make in bulk. That's a good meal prep type thing, or a go-to high protein dish that you're like, oh yeah, I could eat this all day, every day.
Oh, dude, mine is. I don't know. I would say my go-to that I can just do really quickly and they always turn out the same is just a fried egg.
Love fried
eggs. Okay. So you just want
nothing. What? No, dude.
Just
my baby? No.
Yeah, dude. I don't remember the last. I don't know if I've ever eaten just one egg in my life.
No, that's a crime against humanity.
I have to like stop myself. I'm like, is this too many eggs right now?
Yeah. Well, what's the most eggs you've eaten in one sitting?
Well, we got a story for you. What was it, 60?
Do you
What
still
do we
have
do?
a photo of that?
Oh,
I call that. It's not 60. I call it a smooth 60.
Yeah.
Smooth
Actually,
60.
let's see. What is Costco egg quantity?
See, I feel like it was a 60, and then
Okay,
I feel
I'm
like we also
literally
have like.
I feel like I'm seeing the tray right now. It's 5 dozen. Math for Marines.
60.
That's 60?
60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We cook 60 eggs in one
Well,
setting.
Plus 2
I also
pounds of
think-
bacon.
Yeah, I also feel like you had like 4 left over from a dozen, so I feel like it was like 63 or 64.
That sounds right.
Excess.
Hold on, I have the picture somewhere on my phone.
Yeah. So in short, we were all going to Big Bear, circa, was that 2019 or was that like 2017?
No, I was still in.
Okay.
That was like 2014.
It was right
It was
before I went on the
Oakland.
meal.
Okay.
2014,
Irrelevant.
2015?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Back in the
2014.
day, 10 years ago. And I went to buy the 5 dozen Costco eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's the
That's
photo.
it.
Oh,
Count 'em.
man. Count them.
Count them real quick.
So many eggs. You're going to have to drop that in
yeah.
Slack to Jordy. If you're not in Slack, join Slack. Slack's amazing. But anyway, I went to buy them and I can't remember if it was Dave or Katrina, but someone was like, we will never eat those eggs. And we're like, oh, you asked the wrong 3 fellows from Nebraska about egg eating. And so not only did we just eat them over the course of 3 days, we ate them in one meal. And
One meal.
that poor toilet.
Dude, yeah. One toilet at this cabin.
You're back again?
Oh no!
No.
You guys can really eat eggs, huh?
You guys ever heard of egg whites?
It was the same weekend. I remember distinctly. It was the Pacquiao
Oh yeah,
Mayweather fight.
That's right.
And it was
yeah.
on HBO, and we guessed the password.
That's right.
And it was just like 0000, and we just watched it for free. It was nice.
Yeah, that was amazing. That's the power of eggs. It brings mental clarity,
That's it.
and you're
That's
able to
it.
hack codes.
Okay,
I've
so
always
Trey's
said.
go-to meal is 60 eggs. Okay, got it.
In this sitting, yeah.
Yeah.
Eggs. Excuse me. Let me get sick. Eggs are a big one for me. Like I can do 8. I feel like pretty easily. You know, I mean, I could do more, but if I do 8, I'm like, okay, I'm like actually pretty full, and I got a decent amount of protein.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I mean, I got to say, my go-to for just talking protein is, I think, a pound of ground beef. And if you have a 12-inch cast iron skillet, I got to give a skillet update. But if you have a 12-inch cast iron skillet, you can put a pound of beef, cook it in the skillet. You take a chicken and you kill it and you put it in the skillet. Who sings that song? And you fry it up
Dwight.
golden brown. That's Southern cooking. No, Glenn Campbell. But anyway, I like to cook a whole pound, and then you just put the heat warmer
Yeah.
on your kitchen table, and you just leave it in the cast iron pan, and you just eat it directly out of the pan.
I
And
like
it's
your
amazing.
style.
Yeah.
What do you season it with? What's your go-to seasoning?
I don't like too much on beef. I like salt and pepper. Yeah, I used to when I was like young. I liked Montreal steak seasoning. I now despise Montreal steak seasoning. It's way too salty in my opinion. I don't
So you're
know.
not a taco seasoning guy.
No, I'm not. I mean, I don't dislike taco seasoning, but that's if I'm cooking a pound of ground beef, I'm doing salt and pepper. Maybe for a while, someone gave me some seasoning pack, and one of them was called Backyard Burger, and it was pretty good. It was like salt, pepper, and garlic or something like that, but it was like
Okay.
a blend.
See, now if you want to spice that up, you season it with a fried egg or two.
Oh, for
yeah.
sure,
Oh,
no doubt. But a pound of ground beef is probably my go-to
Okay.
meal. And then depending on the location and circumstance, like let's say you're with your buddy and you got to eat the Marine Corps Chow Hall, and the options are like beef stew, which is like 2 pieces of beef and way too much stew.
Yeah.
Or a fried breaded pork chop, which is like the pork chop's paper thin, or some really suspect chicken. Well, I'm going to go with stew, and then I'm just going to crush cottage cheese from the salad bar.
Yeah.
I feel like cottage. I think I could eat an entire container of cottage cheese
Easily.
Yeah.
It's underrated, I think.
Yeah. And if you're in the chow hall, you just grab one of those little peel off jellies for the bread. And you add one of those little jellies into like a big bowl of cottage cheese and stir it up. And that is epic.
Oh, so you're a sweet cottage cheese person. Like
I like
you
it.
eat it with fruit.
No, I just put a little bit of jelly in it. Sometimes, not all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I like salt and pepper. Cottage cheese, salt and pepper.
I've never done that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Chef Trey over here. Okay.
Okay. Van Bordeaux.
Okay. Didn't realize we had Michelin stars over here. Okay.
So my Michelin, it's fried eggs and cottage cheese with salt and pepper.
Okay. Goozy
5 stars.
Guy Rousey.
Guy Ferrari. Yeah.
Rousey.
Got there.
It's Guy Fieri's brother, Guy Rousey.
Okay, Dave Ramsey.
That does sound like a meal he would make. He'd be like, okay, this is going to be a great meal. Save you a bunch of money. All right, you're going to grab cottage cheese, and you're going to take some of Trey's salt and pepper mix, and you're going to put it on there.
No, I think he would do something like, okay, here's how to save money this year. You're going to go to Costco and you're going to buy 60 eggs and you're going to eat 1 egg per meal for 20 days and you will lose weight, increase vitality, and save money in your budget.
Amazing.
But you can't use credit cards to pay for anything.
Oh, no, do not.
No, do not use a credit card.
Use a credit card.
I can't wait for the Dave Ramsey cookbook where he burns up credit cards while he cooks his eggs.
Dave Ramsey cookbook.
He uses credit card instead of butter. That's how he keeps his. That's what he seasons his pans with.
Oh, man.
Cut up credit cards.
Speaking of pans, you got a Strength Go pan update?
Yeah, a little skillet update.
Eagerly awaiting mine.
Yeah, if you're listening to this on Friday, is it Friday the 12th?
It's Monday.
13th?
And then listen to it. Yeah. Sorry.
Is it Friday the 13th again?
No.
10th.
Today's the 6th. Yeah.
Yeah, 10th. Okay, if you're listening on Friday the 10th and you already bought a pan, all the pans have shipped. A lot of you have probably gotten them because most of them are shipping 2-day. FedEx 2 days, so they'll ship Wednesday. FedEx misses the mark occasionally. So you'll probably be coming home to your pan today if you bought a pan. But the pans are done, turned out nicer than expected. Really did. The machining's awesome. Some people have said there's so much. It's so non-stick at the bottom that you could call it Teflon Don because it just can't be stuck. But no, it turned out really nice. We got the new leather pot holder, Strength Co pot holder handle cover for it. That'll be out by the time you listen to this. If you order a pan now, you're listening to it now. You're like, Grant, I didn't trust your pre-order. I didn't think you could bring anything to market. You're not a titan of industry. Well, brother, go buy it now and you'll have it in 3-4 days. So yeah, the pans are good. Selling like hotcakes. So you can make hotcakes. That's what I've always said. Go buy a pan and a pound of ground beef and 60 eggs and you'll be on your way.
Hell yeah, brother. Dang.
Do you know there's an arrow between the E and the X on FedEx?
Yeah, I did know that actually. Yeah.
Dude, I remember when someone first told me that. I was like, that blew my mind.
You're like,
yeah,
it's like all of a sudden it just like comes out like 3D. You're like, oh,
that's all you see.
Yeah.
Did you know that if you look at a UPS truck, it says ups?
Wow.
No.
That took me a while too.
The arrow in Amazon goes to A to Z.
I did see that one. Yeah. Oh. Disneyland is because of LAX and Disney World is because of Orlando, Florida.
Is that true?
I mean, how could it not be true? Disney World's in Orlando.
Yeah.
Did you just make that up?
I'm not that fast.
Hey.
Next slide.
This is good segue.
Real quick. We can't segue too much. We got to take a second and thank our sponsors.
Oh, yes, sir.
One of the reasons that we're still doing this is because we do have sponsors. My buddy's pretty busy and thinks his time's going away. But when those sponsorship checks keep coming in, you kind of can't afford not to keep recording. And so here we are. And we want to thank BW Tax. He's a small time operation out of South Carolina, but he can do your taxes anywhere. And we're going to play an ad read here. And this ad read is from a person that wants to be the first repeat guest. We're not going to tell you who it is. No one's going to comment. And you have to guess in the comments. Go comment when you're looking at the thumbnail right now. Go comment. You know who it was. And if you don't, then we're not going to bring him back on. But if you do, we'll think about it. And it's just that simple. Hang on, we're buffering. Marine Corps Wi-Fi, you know what I mean?
Hooray!
No, we're still
Can't
buffering.
Can't afford that Air Force Wi-Fi.
You want to say anything about BW Tax real quick, Trey, while we wait for this?
I would love to. So, funny story. Organically, he came up. I got a buddy I was hanging out with last night. And he goes, man, I got to find somebody else to do my taxes. I go, well, do I got a guy for you?
Well.
Small business owner. He goes, do you think he could handle that? I'm like, and I don't know if this is accurate. I feel like I heard it somewhere. I go, this guy was ranked best tax guy by the OK podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. We've 2 years in a row, we've said there's no one better to do your taxes.
Yeah.
So you could say that we've always said that, and we'll never stop saying it. And here we go with this tax read.
I think it's a great question, and it's one that not a lot of people are asking right now, and I think they need to be. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but tax nowadays are so complicated. You're so complex. You feel like you need an advanced degree just to file them, but not anymore with BW. They're headquartered in the great state of South Carolina. BW Tax has all the resources of what the big guys have, but they bring kind of that small town feel that everybody really likes. And they'll help you meet any and all of your goals for your tax related needs. From tax planning and prep, business formation and business dissolution, you name it, and they'll do it. They aren't like the big guys, those big companies who give you the runaround with chat bots and cyber calls. They have real people there to serve you at the drop of a hat. And I personally know BW Tax. He's a great guy. He's doing great work. I think you should give him a call just to take the stress out of tax season. Get him on the phone or visit his website at bwtaxllc.com if you want to focus more on hitting maxes and doing less taxes.
I love that smooth jazz.
Dang.
That was a good ad read.
That's a good ad. I was like, man.
Yeah, that's an underrated ad read.
I agree. Definitely underrated ad read.
Comment on Instagram, comment on YouTube, comment on Spotify, exactly who that was. That is for the deep, hardcore listeners. And if someone guesses it, not named Trey and Jeff, I know you guys are real. I know you guys are real active on Instagram. We'll bring that guy back on. And it's just as simple as that. And ad reader, you also can't comment on yourself.
Oh, that's a good one.
Got to get the rules out there.
That's right. Okay.
So it's really up to Grant's mom whether he comes back on.
Yeah, it's really up to Grant's mom. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
please, Miss Broggi.
I think it's kind of a good segue. We went from Chow talk. Okay, so now we're going to jump into talking.
Wait, hold on. What's your go-to chow?
Mine? Oh, lately I've probably been eating this for lunch. It's probably been about a year that I've been doing this for like work. So 5 times a week, I'll eat this for lunch. I get 2 cups of rice, 3 pounds of ground beef, and 2 sweet potatoes.
Okay.
And cook the rice, cook the sweet potatoes, and then cook the ground beef all separate, and then mix it all together. Little secret seasoning called salt and pepper on that bad boy.
The old Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, Dave.
Giving it the old Dave.
That's what I'm calling that from now on. So I'm gonna put a little Dave Ramsey on this.
Get a little Dave Ramsey on this chicken right here.
Then I divvy that up into 5 different portions and just eat that. So
Okay.
Oh,
People at
okay.
work think I'm a psychopath because I eat the same thing literally every time.
Well, maybe a little bit.
But it's just for lunch.
I always think that's a compliment.
Oh, I don't
What,
mind.
be
I
called
embrace it.
psychopath?
Yeah.
embrace
Yeah.
it.
No one says I'm a psychopath. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, say less. Say something else great about me.
Okay. Well, let's segue our chow
All right, next
talk
slide.
to Jon Hamm. So chow-esque last name here.
Yeah. Jon Hamm. He's an actor.
Yep.
How's it spelled? H-A-M?
You have it spelled as 2 A's. I think that's right. If that feels right.
I thought it was 2 M's.
Maybe it's 2 M's. Could
Well,
be
does
3.
McCree have 2 C's or 2 E's?
We'll never know.
Is this another Jude Law topic?
No, I was watching a little
2 M's. 2 M's.
2 M's. I was watching a little
Landman?
no, what's the shit? Yeah, Landman.
Oh yeah, he is on that.
With Diana, and I said, "Oh, it's Jon Hamm. You know that guy's packing, right?" Sorry, Mom. And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I guess he's known in Hollywood for having like really large stuff between his legs." She's like, "How do you know this?" I'm like, "Well, it's
That's a
not
fair
because
question.
I'm like, it's not because he's like a deviant. It's because like every time he's photographed, it's obvious." And she's like, "Still, how do you know this? You don't seem like the guy that's looking at photos of Jon Hamm." I was like, "Nolan told me." She's like, "Nolan, the guy that was on the podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was watching The Town one time, typical Tuesday night, and he was like, Jon Hamm's packing." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then he told me, and now every time I see Jon Hamm, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds exactly like a Nolan fact to me.
That does.
Oh, total obscure Nolan
yeah.
fact. Yeah. Nolan, shout out Nolan Hickey.
Hey,
Might not even be true. It's just
that's
now
right.
just Grant takes it as like gospel. He's like, oh yeah, John.
Yeah,
Hamm
Nolan
definitely
said
back.
it.
said
It's
it.
true. Yeah. That's what I've always
Is that show good, Landman? I've heard good things.
So I started it and then went away with my buddy.
Yeah.
The first two were pretty dang riveting. It's I mean, it's like oil man. Jon Hamm's like the big oil man, like white collar, deals, all kind of stuff. And then Billy Bob Thornton's like the big blue collar man.
Okay.
And he's it's if you like the Marine Corps, like wearing hard hats on your heads and ripping cigarettes all day, you'd like Landman, because that's kind of what that show was from the little bit I saw. But yeah, no, it looks intriguing.
This would my granddad on my mom's side, he was a landman. Completely not accurate.
Oh, he didn't.
His life was a lot less exciting.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Did you watch it, Trey?
I watched the first episode. I haven't watched any more than that because the first one was showed on TV for free. So
Yeah,
because what's it? It's what streaming service is it on?
it's like Paramount. Yeah.
got to get that.
What's that director's name? The same one who did Yellowstone.
Amex card, Paramount Plus is free. Tyler Sheridan.
Oh yeah,
Dude, that dude spits out stuff like it's.
oh
Yeah, mayor
He's
of
churning it out.
Kingstown. He's just like crushing
like
it over there.
Sicario.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah, he did that.
yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah, there's
played,
actually
like,
a lot of stuff. Yeah, where I'm like, oh, that was him too. That was also him. Like, oh,
A modern day Martin Scorsese. That's what I've always said.
always said that.
I watched an interview. He was he considered himself a failed actor, so he just like, all right, I'll just go I'll be a director now.
Yeah.
Because I think he was on Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
He was a police officer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of in a bunch of stuff too. Yeah.
Got to look this
Yeah.
up now.
It's all over the place. A little bit of a jack of all trades. Okay.
Yeah.
Landman.
Man, Sicario. That's a good movie. I need
is
to
a
watch
good
that
one.
again.
Dude, that is good.
I'm ready for the third one. Supposed to come out sometime.
Ooh. Did you like the second one?
He is. By the
I
way,
did,
I've been-
man.
I've
I
been
thought it was
saying
good.
Tyler, it's Taylor.
Taylor. Yeah.
Unless
Close
this
enough.
is his
That's
brother.
pretty close.
You've had worse slip-ups.
Oh, yeah.
That one's not bad.
yeah. That I'm like, hey,
We all knew who you were talking about.
That's
That
pretty
one.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. Making progress here.
hey. Okay, to jump from Jon Hamm, now we're going to hop over
John
to
Hancock.
we're going to talk about the Patriots firing their coach with the last name of Mayo, another Chow related name.
Yeah, Jerod Mayo. I thought it was interesting. I never liked the Jerod Mayo hire. longtime great player for the Patriots, assistant coach. I don't always think that translates. And
what was his job before? Was he a defensive coordinator?
I don't think he was a coordinator because I think wasn't Belichick's son the coordinator? He was something. Maybe he was D-line.
Okay.
But yeah,
so he was in charge of inflating the balls.
That was Jon Hamm.
Jon Hamm. Him and Jude Law.
Yeah, him and Jude Law. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting because they fired him after 1 year. And it's
quick.
Yeah, you don't see that too often.
No.
And if the Patriots had lost to the Bills, they would have gotten the number 1 draft pick. But they went out and beat the Bills, who the Patriots love beating, and the Bills are like on the headed to the playoffs, and they fired him. So maybe Bill Belichick will leave North Carolina and come back.
That would be pretty funny.
Bill Belichick enters the transfer portal to transfer to the Patriots to be the head coach. There's probably some sort of route.
Sick NIL.
He gets an NIL deal from his girlfriend.
The man
that was interesting. One season.
Yeah, one season.
And didn't take over a great team. So it was kind of like, what? I don't know. There's probably other
shambles.
stuff. Yeah, that they just didn't like where it was trending.
Or they have somebody else in mind. One of the two.
True.
It was a stopgap.
Could be.
Who do you want to see? Or do you care? Or do you know?
I'm too out of the loop, to be honest.
Okay.
Very well.
Mike Vrabel,
who I could see that.
Former Patriot, has proved himself or did prove himself at Tennessee and then got fired. But I like Vrabel.
He'd be a good one.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I think he'd be a good fit. And really Belichick trained. Not that Mayo is not, but yeah. I mean, that's the only person that comes to mind. Outside of that, I'm too far out the loop.
No, it'd be good. That'd be good. Pick up right there.
Kind of dovetail off this topic.
I
saw a headline that was like Rex Ryan, I guess, is already given himself the New York Jets job. He's like, oh yeah, it's mine. I'm 90% sure. Rex Ryan.
Oh, yes, love it.
I'm like, dude, you had that job and they fired you because you didn't. I guess they went to the playoffs a couple times. I think they went to the AFC Championship when he was there. But I was like, his overall record was losing record. It was like, why would they be dying to have you back? I don't.
What's his brother's name? The defensive coordinator?
Dex Ryan.
Yeah, that's it. It's Rex and Dex.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
That's it. They share the same first name. That's it.
I can't remember what his brother's name is.
If only there was a 7-inch device in our hands.
We'll never know.
We're gonna cheat.
But I was just what a crazy thing. He's like, oh yeah, they're definitely going to hire me. I know it. I can tell. It's my job. It's my job.
Rex and Dex, Rex and Rob. I had 3 letters in there.
It should be Rex and Dex. Let's be.
Come on, Mom and Dad. Speaking of overweight coaches, what do we think of the Illinois coach?
Brett Bielema, dude.
Dude, the guy's a clown.
He's always been obnoxious.
What a poop bag.
What was that whole taunting thing? I don't even know what he was on. I didn't
really
about.
Understand it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on too many Gamecock forums. I know exactly what it was about.
You did a deep dive.
Yeah. I'll make it short because it's over, and I really think Beamer was being a baby, although I do think Illinois guy's super lame. But so Beamer ball. Apparently, if you go to call a fair catch and you start with your hands here and go out and never bring them back in, if you're not watching on the OK Podcast YouTube, you're missing out. But if you just go out, it means nothing. You have to go like this, come. You have to start in, go out, come back in to signal a fair catch in the end zone. So Beamer goes to the officials before the game and he's like, hey, we have this play up our sleeve that we may run where we're going to do this. And I don't want any confusion. This is what the rule book says. And they're like, yeah, you're right. And he's like, okay, cool. So Gamecocks run the play. This is why I kind of got mad at Beamer about it. So the player does it, catches the ball. All the Illinois guys stop running, slow down, and then he throws it to the other side of the end zone. It's a great idea of a play, right? Throws it to the other side of the end zone. Can't remember if it was Juju McDowell or who back there. Gets it and goes to run. And they get to the 23-yard line, maybe the 26, something like that. It wasn't some breakaway. They didn't score a touchdown. So then on the next play, Illinois player gets hurt. So how do you say his name? Bielema?
Bielema
Goes over and he goes over, and then it's like apparent that the player's going to be okay. So he doesn't go over to him. And so the Gamecocks are like in a huddle. And so then he keeps doing this, like the hands out like that. And Beamer just completely becomes unhinged. And I think this guy's like a total poop bag, but Beamer just like absolutely goes berserk. At the time, I didn't know what had happened. So I assumed he came up and like said that he wanted to kill his wife or like something like terrible. And that's all it was. So then he's over on the other sideline laughing. Beamer's like going insane. And then he just like starts doing substitutions over and over and over until Beamer is so flustered he has to call a timeout. And then like he had the last laugh, which is why it was crazy. And then Beamer lost. So it was even like,
were y'all losing at the time that he got really upset?
I think we were up by 3 at the time.
I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to get the boys fired up.
Yeah. I mean, they did. Fire Luke Day. He couldn't even hold Sean Beamer back, who's like 140 pounds soaking wet, but kind of strength coaches that. But anyway. Yeah, it was an interesting thing. I mean, the fans were fired up. Like they looked crazy on TV. My buddy Caleb was there. Shout out Caleb. And he was sending me videos. And I was like, this looks insane.
Dang. No, that was crazy. That was a good, as a third party man, it was a good game.
It was a good game. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah. Should we cover the rest of the college football games? College football
Might
playoff?
as well. Here we are.
Dude, I'm still blown away. Texas still has not played anybody.
No one.
Yeah, you picked him to win the national championship.
Hey, 2 things can be true, man.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. 3 things can be true.
Who had Oregon? Did one of y'all have Oregon?
I had Oregon.
I think in the on the podcast I picked Boise State, but in the pool I think I had Oregon. But dude, I mean, do you think there's anything to that? All the teams that had the bye week, or that's just coincidence? You think?
I think it's coincidence.
Yeah, I think
Ohio State is just actually started to decide to play. Yeah, no.
I think Ohio State got better throughout the year, and there is something about like the way Ohio State lost them in the regular season. Like that fires everybody up, right? Like, so Ohio State, and then
I think them losing to Michigan helped a lot too.
Yeah,
that kind of like probably refocused them and was like, oh yeah, we got some stuff we got to fix and addressed it.
So who's left?
Boise,
it is
Penn State
versus Notre Dame.
And
then you have Texas versus Ohio State.
That'll be a good game.
Can you pick a worst 4 teams?
No,
dude, I'm so
in terms of teams I hate.
Like the most hated teams.
I'm so not fired up for this next round. Yeah. I don't want any of these teams to win.
I hope my buddy
championship.
I hope my buddy invites me to go like shoot artillery or something, so I don't have to watch any of them. Yeah.
Out of these 4, who do you think, if you had to pick one, who do you think is going to win it?
I mean, based off what I saw, Ohio State looked so good.
I think so too.
Based off how rigged the season is, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame defenses.
Yeah,
they're good.
So one thing that I've always said is whenever Trey Grant and BW Tax watch Notre Dame on the first weekend of college football, Notre Dame has a shot to win the national championship.
True.
Every time that's happened, it's happened.
I remember you said it like 10 years ago, and I thought it was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, who's BW?
Yeah, who's BW? Well, we're talking all this college football. Don't forget about Mr. Helmet. Mr. Helmet, you can go down to the show notes, click the little button there. That's part of how we keep this podcast going. Got a favorite football team, maybe like Auburn. You got a little mini helmet. You want a little custom visor, maybe like the Marine Corps. Want to go buy the Marine Corps helmet. Maybe you're a Texas fan, like Big Connor's mom. Big Connor bought Texas helmet for his mother. Helmet came, gave it to his mother right before kickoff, and Texas won the game. So if you buy that helmet, I mean, I'll put it to you this way. I never bought a Gamecock helmet, and here I am with another 9-4 season. So if your team's left in the playoffs, you should go buy a helmet. And if you are unhappy with how your team ended the season and you want to start things off right, go to MrHelmet.com. Just kidding. Click the link in the show notes and go buy your favorite team's helmet. If you want this podcast to keep coming out of thin air, we got to sell some helmets, brother. So maybe you're a South Dakota State. No, who won the FCS? North Dakota State?
Last I
Aren't
saw,
they playing
North
right
Dakota
now?
State was winning, but I don't know if the games might still be going on.
Oh, they're playing like today, like right
Yeah, they're
now.
playing right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
Montana State and
Let's see.
North Dakota.
Oh, we're gonna cheat.
State.
Oh, North Dakota State won 35-32.
Ooh, good game.
Is that the Jackrabbits?
Yeah,
indeed.
they held off Montana State. Yeah, Montana State
Bobcats. I
threw a
think.
touchdown with a minute left.
Dang.
Dadgum.
Go.
But it looks like
Game-
North Dakota
game.
State held it. Look at that. Listen to this stat. North Dakota State, 401 yards. Montana State, 393 yards. No team with a turnover.
Wow.
North Dakota State, 18 first downs. Montana State, 19 first downs.
It's good, clean football.
That's good, clean football.
that's
I
evenly
love
matched.
good. That's good, clean football. Let's see if they had a fullback.
I think they had a lot of white guys. Of
course they
Yeah,
did.
a lot of white guys on that team.
I feel like if you're
fullbacks.
from a Dakota or a Montana, it's required by law. I think you have to have a
Yes.
fullback.
And both had 100-yard rushers. Both had 200-yard passers.
Dang.
Wow, what a game.
That fullback's not going to show up, Grant. It's the unsung hero.
Yeah, seriously.
You don't show up on the
Fullback.
stat sheet, all right? You don't show up on the stat
Yeah.
sheet. Show up in the film room when you're breaking
That's
it down.
right.
You say, look at this
That's right.
34 ISO up the middle, fullback, right on the middle linebacker, kicks him out, running back. He's at the next level, scooting around. Yeah.
Man, when they get behind their football pads with that low center of gravity, they're unstoppable. He runs with a real low center of gravity.
Center of gravity.
What?
That would actually be pretty fun if you filmed your dudes shooting artillery and then just do a film study breakdown afterwards,
be good,
like a
yeah.
football coach.
He rams with a low center of gravity. Speaking of low center of gravity, how about Punch Nugget Scattaboo?
I don't, if you had just left it at Punch Nugget, I don't think I would have been able to decipher that.
I knew
one.
exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, I knew you did.
Oh, good
right.
old punch nugget? Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that
was
guy,
the best game. That was the best game of the year.
that was by far the best game of the playoff so far.
Of the
And
year?
honestly,
I mean, I don't
I
know
thought that Georgia Tech Georgia game was pretty good.
Yeah, 5 overtime.
If you go by the stakes, it was pretty big stakes.
Yeah.
So I get what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah.
That was one of the most exciting games I watched.
Oh, yeah.
Exciting.
It's up there for sure.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
All right.
Do you think that was targeting?
How is it not? I don't understand.
Yeah, I think it's definitely targeting.
I think it 100% is.
Targeting such
Yeah.
a weird
Mhm.
rule. I don't know.
You've always said that.
Always said that. But I don't know.
Um,
I was impressed. Although his conditioning was a little suspect there. Although he kept like getting it done. I don't know. But he like kept coming out of the game and like looking like he
vomiting.
was just gassed. And then he would
Yeah.
get back in and then catch like a 80-yard like reception or something like that. And I was like,
Some of those runs were impressive.
dude, yeah.
Wait, so to clear up the topic, I'm picking Notre Dame and you're both picking Ohio State.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would probably change mine right now to Ohio State.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Man, I was really hoping Boise State was gonna. They like seemed like they were like right on the cusp there of like kind of like kicking the comeback train going, and they just couldn't. They just got down too much too early. And
Yeah, I know.
that quarterback looked pretty good for him though, but Genty couldn't really get the ball going. I don't know. That was my most disappointing game. I just did not want Penn State to win. Their quarterback just like looked
Nobody
like
did.
he looked like he complained about every single thing to like the refs. Like,
Mom.
he like,
I think I heard him say that once. Mom.
dude. But I also thought it was funny that they kept bringing it up in that game because like Genty was close to the single season rushing record, and they're like, "Oh, he's this far away from Barry Sanders' single season record." But like, oh well, they didn't count the 222 yards that Barry Sanders had in the bowl game. It's like, well, can't we count that now? Like, if we're counting it,
Yeah,
if
I
we're
know.
counting it for the backs today, like, should we just?
Also, I'm pretty sure
bump that
Barry
number
Sanders
up?
did it in, 10 games, 11 games? What'd they play before?
Probably something like that. Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
So he did in fewer games, too.
It's crazy.
No one's going to touch that. That dude,
No.
phenomenal.
No.
Deion's brother, man. Incredible.
That's right.
Incredible.
Dang.
All right. We got a few more slides. My team's meeting's going to end in 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Kind of wrap up college football. I don't know if either of you saw it, but Dave Portnoy officially announced that like the SEC is like a dead conference or middle of the road, I think was his phrase. And he like was
interesting,
just like talking about how it's not a real conference anymore. And the SEC can't pay players or like has to pay players like everybody else now. And so their advantage is like negated. And I'm like,
I feel like I feel like he's being a little bit of a prisoner in the moment right there.
I think there was definitely some just like, I'm going to really try to grind people's gears.
Engagement.
Yeah.
I do think, so I got trash talked a lot. People like, oh, you had to play a Big Ten team. Sorry. And I do think the Big Ten's having a good year.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't know how you could just take like history
1 year
and not be like, well, the SEC's like been good. Now time will tell if they're bad now. But it's like when the Patriots had their first bad year and they're just like, yeah, they suck. And like, they do suck now. But it's like, okay. And then everyone forgets that Texas is in the SEC. But yeah, and all the mid-level bowls, I just don't think bowl games are what they used to be.
No.
It's a bad barometer to judge that. Man, I always go by draft picks, right?
Yeah.
Like who has the most draft picks? And it's go back the last 10 years. It's always been the SEC.
Yeah.
Like by
everybody's
far,
defense right now in the NFL has like 4 Alabama players, 2 Georgia players, and like people. Yeah, dude, it's like
LSU,
SEC beat themselves up, but that's why it's fun football. But I mean, Big Ten's been winning bowl games. I'll give them that.
True. No, they're playing well.
They hate us because they ain't us.
I will say SEC is now a basketball conference this year.
Dude, for real.
The worst team in the SEC is the Gamecocks, and I think they're at 10 wins.
Yeah, 10 wins.
Dang.
Which is like
phenomenal.
Ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And that was interesting. I thought you were going to talk about women's basketball, but
that's a given, right?
Yeah,
Are they still
given.
Have they lose this year though?
Yeah, they lost one game, which I'm glad because they were up to like 53 in a row or something.
Get that monkey off the back.
Get the monkey off the back, and then they're playing good. They're number one.
Nice.
Yeah, they're number one.
Is Crockpot still on the team?
Oh yeah, Crockpot, okay. Raven Johnson, potential sponsor.
Hey,
actually, we might sponsor her.
No, let's get some of that NIL money. I want some of that NIL money.
Give her some of that pan money.
Yeah, give her some of that pan money. Oh, instead of being the crock pot, she could be the cast iron pan.
The cast iron.
Slow cooking.
We're going to totally rebrand you.
You could have 2 pans, make it into a Dutch oven, slow cooked chicken or pork chops. The cast iron.
Tied together with some boot bands.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, these boot bands. These are the drill instructor double knotted boot bands. Hoorah.
Took me a minute. And Jeff goes, "Okay, boot bands," and I was like, "Is that what? Grant's nickname?" Or boot band Grant.
Hoorah.
Well, I think kind of brings us to our almost our last slide here. How's your buddy doing? Got any updates about your buddy? Has he been busy at all, or you just been kind of taking naps and pushing chow?
My buddies, I'm going to kind of speak in first person as if I was him because I know exactly how
he feels. Role play.
Yeah, but it's just amazing how nothing changes. Like the bathroom signs, the trash briefs, like the way Marines look on different installations. Like a 29 Palms Marine has like a certain vibe and look than, compared to like a Pendleton Marine or a 10th Marines. But everything's just the same. It's like PowerPoints and like everyone's still doing quad slides and it's the same commander's comments photo at the end of the slide deck. And it's the same guy working at the exercise support division and just the funny signs that like you see on base, which I didn't used to like find so comical, but now like every time I pass one, I just like police desk sergeant. And I'm like, that's hilarious. Like, oh, that's the desk sergeant. All the like random moto stuff, like the bulkhead energy drink, or there's another energy drink they're giving out at the USO called the Rat Bastard. And it's just funny. And you go to March Air Force Base and you sit in that terminal and you just have like all this like weird nostalgia. And you're like, do I like this? Do I hate this? Like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like the red patch Marines with their hands in their pockets and like no haircut in 17 months, like walking out to take the Marines off the planes. Yeah, it's just hilarious. And it's like you take any Marines that we served with and like you just insert them and it's the same thing. And then when not me, my buddy though, he was like walking through the gun bay and there's like a new lieutenant making a trebuchet because St. Babs is on Thursday. And I go up, I'm like, so how's it going? There's like, he's getting help with this, disgruntled staff sergeant. And you go to the MMO. I'm like, hey, I need to get my GCSS account turned on. He's like, okay. He's like reading off my name tapes, writing my name down. He's like, okay, got it, sir. And like closes his right in the rain. And I'm like, wait, so
it's on.
Did you just turn it on?
Is this like new technology I don't know about? Is that actually a tablet that you're working on?
Now it's like comical to me. And he's like, no, sir. No. And I said, how new are you? Well, I came here for a month of OJT before I went to log school. And then I came back in and checked in on December 16th and went on block leave. And today's kind of my first day. And I was like, so you have no idea what I'm talking about, right?
What's
he's
GCSS?
Like, he's like, not really. I was like, okay, you have a chief? He's like, I think so. I'm like, where's your office? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'm not even mad, right? I'm just like cracking up.
Yeah.
And then like you go in there and the staff sergeant's like, oh yeah, sir, I got you. Like hooking it up. And all the lance corporals are like, they keep staring at me. I think they're staring at me.
Do I call attention?
And I'm like, what's going on, guys? And they're like, oh, sir, we're just trying to read his name tapes. And I look and the second lieutenant's like standing right behind me. And instead of being like, Hey, Lieutenant, sir, we need your name to write down over here. Like, how do you spell it? They're like trying to like sneak around like my shoulders to like see what his name tag says. So it's just stuff like that. That's like really cracked me up. Yeah. And like, it feels like nothing's changed, but no, it's just been all prepped for my buddy. Just getting ready. Sit reps and fit reps and JPEZ and, doing
Poor
all
dude's just
things.
trying to figure out how to check in for duty, man.
Yeah, I know. So we get the Marines in, and we ordered 3 buses because the buses seat 56, but we have packs. So they're like, oh yeah, you'll get 3 buses, and then like 2 buses show up. They're like, oh yeah, the 3rd one was never paid for. I'm like, classic. And so you got to remember, like guys activating out of the reserves, it's kind of like 2 deployments because they have to deploy to where the intermediate location ILOC is and like do the workup. And then they don't like go home. It's not like, hey, I'm stationed in 29 Palms. I have all my stuff here. I do my workup and then I pack for deployment. Like these guys have to pack at once. So there's a gear list and there's like, you're only allowed this many bags, but still guys get a lot of stuff. So on the bus, we're just like, they're packing it in the bottom and packing it in the bottom and like the bottom's full and there's so much luggage. Excuse me. And the XO's like, all right, I got it, sir. And so they're like, sit a Marine down, put his main pack on his lap, put his assault pack on top of his main pack. So like you can't even see his head, and then put a Marine on the other side on both sides with the same thing. And then stack in between the seats, sea bags. Like all the way up to the front of the bus. And not to mention, like they all have their rifles. And it's just like, I mean, the bus is like, I felt like if someone like took a hammer and like broke a window and like people would have just fell out. So yeah, it was hilarious. And then you get there and it's like, okay, you guys come to the armory first to turn your weapons in. I'm like, we can't. And they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, do you want everyone's bag at the armory? And they're like, huh? It's like, I only got 2 buses, not 3. So like the Marines are covered in luggage. I'm like, we have to go to the barracks first and like take the luggage out. It's just a funny, and I think that's like what's helped me in my line of work is like, you think through like the logistics of like, oh yeah, I have a Marine, but he has a body bag. He has a main pack. He has a sea bag. He has an assault pack. He has a flak. He has a Kevlar. He has a rifle. Like you can't just go, oh, here they all are with all their stuff. Yep. So yeah, no, but it's been fun. It's been fun. Marines are great. So many gay jokes, never ends. It's so weird. Yeah,
it hadn't changed.
Yeah, no, yep. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Mm-hmm. So I've always said.
Always.
Yep. With that, I think this part of the show got to wrap it up. Thanks to our sponsors, BW Tax. We already kind of touched on him, but I'll just wrap it up quick here. BW Tax, small business, can do your taxes from anywhere. Lives in South Carolina, no matter what state you're in. Business formation from today's ad read. I forget to talk about. We don't talk about it enough. If you're a small business, I hate the word entrepreneur, but if you want to open your own business and pursue that sort of thing, that could be confusing. Forming an LLC in 5 minutes, get you up to date, tell you all the things to do. Help you with your families, help you with your tax deductions for your kids, whatever it may be. bwtaxllc.com. No better time to call in now. Prices do go up the closer you get to April 15th. That's not me scaring you. That's just the truth because you get busy and you got to get the paying customers in and you got to be incentivized, take more customers. So bwtaxllc.com. Also, thanks to Mr. Helmet, Green, Gridman, Gridiron, Green Mean. Yeah, twice as mean, still as lean, hard as a Marine, whatever it is. Click the show notes, go buy a helmet, and that helps us out. And with that, Trey, take us in for a landing.
All right. Grant pretty much nailed everything. This has been episode 054 of the podcast. Just reiterate, thank our sponsors always. Look below in the show notes for the Slack. Join that. Use code OK. Get some money off. I think around $10.
Something like that.
If you want to be silly there, ask some serious questions, that's the place to do that. Go to YouTube, give us a like and subscribe there. Leave us a comment, let us interact with you there as well. Go to www.theokpodcast.com. Find all the social media links there. Give us a follow. Most importantly, each of us has our social media accounts that we stay live. At least Jeff does. He's on.
He's live right now.
Oh my goodness, it's absolutely insane.
But so many people on the live.
Interacting.
Interacting.
We love social media, all of us. Other than that, powered by the Strength Co. Get yourself a pan, get yourself some weights. Did I miss anything, Coach?
Did great. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe we'll see you next week. Maybe we'll see you next year. You never know. We support the troops.
Keep on our toes.
Hey.